Hello, my name is Abigail Velez, and today I'm going to talk to you about predictors of citation of systematic reviews in oral implantology, a cross-sectional bibliometric analysis. First, definition. In the current scenarios of ever-increasing number of dental journals and research articles, clinicians are faced with the challenge of navigating through the information overload to identify relevant scientific evidence to answer their clinical questions. In health sciences, systematic reviews, with or without meta-analysis, are one tool that combines multiple studies trying to answer the same research question and provide an evidence summary without requiring clinicians to read multiple individual clinical studies. Next, a video.
PubMed Clinical Queries provides specialized PubMed searches for clinicians. To search using clinical queries, select the Clinical Queries link under PubMed Tools. In this tutorial, we'll focus on two of the clinical queries search methods: clinical study categories and systematic reviews. Searching by clinical study category combines your search topic with a pre-constructed search that attempts to retrieve articles that offer the current best evidence for a specific clinical question. Let's say we're searching for articles on dental implants in the elderly. Now I'll select a category and a scope. This is essentially a therapy question, so I'll keep the default category, therapy. And I'm going to choose narrow as my scope. A narrow specific search retrieves fewer, more relevant citations. It provides a very focused search, but you may miss a few good articles. The other choice, a broad, sensitive search, is a more comprehensive search, but may include some irrelevant articles. You'll notice that when I execute my search results show up for all three types of clinical queries. To see just the results for the clinical study categories, click See All. Now I can see all 502 of my search results. These articles will be significant and provide high-level research on your topic of interest. If you would like to see specifically what is being searched when using the various categories, go back to the Clinical Queries page and click on the Filter link. Here you'll see each category and scope, and next to each will be the pre-constructed search that attempts to retrieve articles that contain the best evidence related to your topic. Now let's go back and try searching systematic reviews. This search finds citations for systematic reviews, meta-analyses, reviews of clinical trials, evidence-based medicine, consensus development conferences, and guidelines. These types of articles constitute the highest level of current best evidence. Quite often, your research should begin with these types of articles. A systematic review is a summary of the medical literature that uses explicit methods to perform a thorough literature search and critical appraisal of individual studies retrieved. Findings from systematic reviews may be used for decision-making about research and the provision of healthcare. Meta-analyses are a type of systematic review, but they use quantitative methods to combine the results from a number of different studies. Let's search for dental implants. We find 478 articles. You'll notice that we retrieve a high number of review articles, including meta-analyses, as well as systematic reviews from the Cochrane database of systematic reviews, a high-quality database of evidence-based material. This concludes the tutorial on clinical queries searching.
Second, application in dentistry. In dentistry, there are several reports in the last decade that point of this high variation in the methodological quality of systematic reviews, including our early reports in periodontology and implant dentistry. The number of times an article is cited in citation count, an important metric used to assess dissemination of evidence and therefore its impact in the scientific community. Next, a video.
Success rate of dental implants ranges about 97 to 99.5%. That's much better than what we used to do. The implant is placed in the bone. Notice it doesn't interfere with either of the adjacent teeth. After it heals in place and it's tested, place the abutment on top of the implant. I work with a team of dentists who then fabricate the crown that goes on top to make it look like a tooth.
I went in to have a basic procedure done at a dental practice, and pretty routine, and then found myself immediately needing to have the tooth removed.
Most people who want a tooth replaced are candidates for dental implants. And the reason they choose to move forward with that option is because the dental implant has a higher success rate than almost any other form of tooth replacement we know of.
I was actually able to have the tooth removed and the implant placed at the same time. Literally, he gave me the option to be sedated or just a local anesthetic, and so that's what I went with. Within, I'd say 45 minutes to an hour, he had the tooth removed and an implant placed. It was a lot less abrasive than I thought it was going to be. It was actually just like having a regular filling or a crown done at a dental office.
Dana came in and she had problems with an upper tooth for many years. They tried a filling, then they tried a crown, and nothing was making it better. So she finally said, well, we'll just take it out and place an implant. And I agreed to do that for her. We took the tooth out, we placed the implant, it healed in place for 3 months. She came back, we started to make the parts to go on top of it to make it look like a tooth again.
It seemed really seamless, and at that time it was pretty dramatic because I was going from a regular appointment to all of a sudden needing my tooth removed and an implant placed.
I think she had very little discomfort after the procedure. The procedure itself was very easy for her, and she's very happy to have a new tooth.
I would definitely recommend anyone that is needing any type of tooth replacement, be it multiple or single or whatever. The process was unbelievably easy.
Third, pros and cons. Pros. First, to assess the correlation between the extracted variables listed in the data extraction section above and the overall citation counts obtained from Web of Science and Google Scholar. Second, this analysis will allow us to identify or rule out particular metrics as being more important in increasing the citation count of these selected reviews. Third, a journal that appears in a focus, especially a specific journal, can possibly drive citation counts. And fourth, in health sciences, including dentistry, systematic reviews and meta-analyses are cited more than other study designs due to their inherent high level of evidence. Cons. First, the lack of significant correlation between the methodological quality of systematic reviews as measured by the MSR score and the citation count. Second, the methodological quality does not necessarily indicate the quality of evidence as systematic reviews encompasses. Third, GIF by itself is not a good predictor of citation of individual articles. Fourth, The limited number of reviews included in the assignment, which prevents additional analysis and affects the external validity of the results. Next, a video.
You may also use Google Scholar to search for scientific articles. Google Scholar is Google's academic search engine. Copy the article title to the search field in Google Scholar. If you get a result here and university has online access, you will find a link to the right. You can also do a subject search directly in Google Scholar, but you might get a lot of search results. If you are unable to access the full text of an article, the publisher will try to sell it to you. Don't buy articles. Ask the library for help. Send us an email or visit us at our front desk. Another important database is the Web of Science. We are now going to search Web of Science for articles written by Peter Ruoff. Choose Web of Science from databases by subject and science and technology. Because there could be many different ways of spelling an author's name, we first need to search for the author using the author finder. Choose the field Author and select from Index. Now fill in the author's last name. Choose Ruoff P. Click on OK and search. You will now get hits for all articles written by authors named Ruoff P in Web of Science, including Peter Ruoff. If you wish to access our databases from outside the campus, you need to log on via the library's remote access service. You will find information about this from the library's main webpage.
Fourth, issue apply inequality. It's important to know that the number of times a published paper is cited is not indicative of its scientific value. It displays its influence in the progress of the respective research file, and it applies in whatever country, including Ecuador. Nonetheless, the number of citations for an article depends not only on its scientific significance, but also on the research file that it covers. Thus, a paper related to implant dentistry may have more citation than a paper related to implantology, although both of them have the same scientific significance. And finally, the number 5. Conclusion. This bibliometric analysis provides insight into the progress and the interesting trends of dental implant research over the last 30 years. Obviously, this is a dynamic list that is changing over time according to scientific interest and prevalent research tendency that has evolved over the decade. Thanks for watching my video.